Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 149, February 11, 2017. Mythi, what is the progress on the new Mars base? Urish, the reason we postponed our conversation was precisely caused by modifications made to the base and new equipment that was transferred to Pluto. I've spent some time in Manchik to organize personal things and now I've returned. Mythi, I would like to hear a general update of our system and planet status, as many members repeatedly ask these things. What is going on with Venus? Why brighter? What does that gravitational wave we saw mean? Urish, in respect to Venus, CG is rushing to prepare the planet and they are busy there. The increase in brightness is due to the fat of Venus being fed by new gases in its atmosphere to prepare the planet to receive animals and plants. The gradual shifting of the orbit to the new zone using gravitational traction waves also contributes to the increase in brightness. Mythi, where is Nibiru, approaching or going away? It's not clear. What do the radiation anomalies on Earth means, their origin and consequences, are they harmful? Urish, Nibiru is slowly passed as far as possible from Earth at the moment. It is being tracked very slowly so as not to cause imbalance in relation to the other works that the CG is doing in the system at the moment. It's coming and will be going in the next few months. Your interaction with the planet will not be as great as it would have been if it had passed near Earth when it came to the system years ago. Mythi, what is the status of the pole shift magnetic and crustal? What changes can we expect in 2017? Geological, social, magnetic pole reversal, open relation or contact with space aliens, etc. See Urish, the counterweight is already far away. The Earth is staggering to find a new position, but due to its inertia this can be delayed. But everything indicates that this year will be a year of many changes, climatic, regional and social. If this culminates in the minimum social balance required for interference, contact may occur within that period. Mythi, there has been an incredible number of Canadian Aboriginal young people committing suicide these last months. Many more are in bad psychological condition and are considering this desperate action. Does this, as well as the increase of civil unrest erupting globally, have anything to do with Earth's changes? Is it an energy field or incoming solar particles? Is this just another form of the wheat separating from the chaff? Or is there something else contributing to the situation? See Randy. In these times of uncertainty and high competitiveness to gain a place in the sun, not only among Aborigines but throughout the planet, this attitude is increasing as a result of the uncertainty and insecurity of this troubled period. Check the increase in suicides in Japan, Asia, the Mid, Europe and the Americas as a whole. Will see that this trend has increased exponentially globally. Like humans, they will see this trend also manifesting among animal species that in turn are also stressing with adverse climatic conditions, and many species prefer collective suicide because they have lost the migratory senses of their ancestors. Mythi, does the recent US election change the statement about the Chinese and Russian governments showing their claws? No joke. When the Chinese or the Russians have no CG preference, they simply decided to cooperate to prevent current economic forces from enslaving all nations as a whole, to decide the social fate of the planet by themselves. Depending on the course of things, they will have the possibility to counteract the measures of attempt of global monetary dominance by these ruling classes. Mythi, does our sighting spacecraft, or not seeing spacecraft, have anything to do with our development, and is there a reason some see many while others none? I love that you gave us the information on meditating with a magnet. Is there any other information you could share with us on achieving higher brain activation? Joe Gwynn: in reality, seeing or not seeing flying objects usually depends on observation. Some are more observant than others. With regard to meditation, this is also a matter of practice. Try to lie down and try to go off in parts. First relax and stop feeling your feet, then go up to the legs and so on, until you no longer feel your body. When you come to relax in this way, your mind will be dedicated only to her, without other details to distract you from concentration. Mithy: what is it about Reiki that is imperative for its efficiency? The intentions of healing from the healer? The symbols used that program the molecules to behave in a specific manner? The balance chakras of the healer? Simply the hand placement along with intentions? Or is it beyond the healer, some sort of external energy combined with some of the previously mentioned? Jose: the efficiency of aid by directing vibrational energies is linked to your capacity for transparency. The more one manages to turn off energetically, the more conductive one becomes to direct cosmic energies like an antenna. To increase your transparency, relax first. Try to feel your body as small as possible in a comfortable position, and then use your hand over the person for whom you want to get help. With practice, this process will become increasingly simple to achieve. Mithy: is this power device for real? Brilliant Light Power has developed a new commercially competitive, non-polluting, plasma-based primary source of massive power from the conversion of hydrogen atoms of water molecules to dark matter, the previously unidentified matter that makes up most of the mass of the universe. M. Green: do you all remember when I talked about the system of obtaining energy from hydrogen that we used in the old days in Manchuk instead of oil? This old system really works, and there have been millennia many of these units and caves in your Middle East from where they must have obtained the principles for the scientific marking of this process. You will have to see if this system among others will really be made available to the population, or if they are already under the control of your dominant economic class. Mithy: do you know if Skinny Bob seen in this tiny footage from 1974 Skinny Bob alien from Zeta Reticuli is still alive? It would be amazing to know his real name, as well. I send him positive thoughts wherever he is. Thank you. Laura: this race of Greys is a scientific race of the Mo class. They do surveys in several systems and have colonies in many stellar systems. One of these races is one that works together with the reptilians precisely because they are excellent thinkers. Currently no Grey is a prisoner of your governments. In fact, they work together in the colonies of Mars. Mithy: once we have access to the CG database, I know we can only access that which is equal to our level. My question is, will we ever be able to see or read your reports and comments as a behavioral scientist concerning your studies of all of us on Mother Earth and how our world compared to others moving to a level 1 society? Yes, Tammy, all the information concerning this colony will be available, including my studies related to it. But, you would have so much interesting information to research that if you spend 100 years could not advance more than 0.001% of the database. Could you develop about the ways you work as a team so we may take it as example and eventually be able to harmonize ours? In reference to your answer in video 138, basically, our team aims to reconstruct trajectories and reframe lives to be successful in the mission where each came to fulfill. Dives. Teamwork comes when the opportunity to do a job actually happens. What is important is the networking of individuals who share knowledge together and try to harmonize in common goals. Many of you have demonstrated this ability to harmonize, others are reminiscent while others seek incompatibilities of points of view to justify their own doubts. But, this group is growing slowly but firmly as expected, generating a very interesting result as an initial interaction group and the occasion of direct contact. Mythi. Considering the CG community's expansion speed within the CG map database, what are the ways CG societies internally communicate with each other? In all your travels seeing all the planets with different races, have you ever seen a strange anomaly that surprised you? Jarko, Jerry and Dives. All the regional CGs are working with permanent communication open channel. Many strange anomalies you will get a chance to see someday when you start visiting some insectoid civilizations. Mythi. Earth's population is constantly growing. Yes, all newborn are level 1 babies, but until they grow up take control over the planet, 20 or 25 years will pass minimum. And after all these years the population will be about 10 billion people. You admitted that with current technologies the planet can sustain only 500 million of us. The problem is that we don't have CG's technologies and might not have such during next several decades, so I would like to ask you, what is the intention of CG concerning this huge global problem? Toter. Believe in nature. Nature balances itself from time to time, and now is one of those balancing periods. Trust that you will never reach 10 billion people in this context. While the CG can organize societies with the basic elements of technology totally available, the planet will start from approximately 2.5 billion beings living in this colony already on level 1. Mythi. Blacks were captured and forced to come to Earth as slaves to the reptilians who brought them. How does that fit into Earth being a reformatory planet? How did the reptilians know while raiding planets, who out of that people needed reform? Who gave them the authority to go and select people who needed reform? Or was it that the reptilians brought blacks to Earth before that decree and labeling of the Earth? Which fraction decreed the Earth a reformatory planet and who oversaw the operation down through the ages? Gregory. When this part of the galaxy was a disqualified zone, as thousands of other areas still are, reptilians wanted to set up housing bases here on the planet, and for that, they brought black aborigines to work in the construction of these facilities as well as to raise herds of goats. There was no control over it in those times, and when humanoid colonies that had already been planted here reported all this reptilian movement to their menors, there were battles for the expulsion of reptilians from this planet specifically. Since then, the various ethnicities of black races that have been brought from various places of Sirius have come to affect their evolutionary cycle here on this planet like all other races planted here by specific mentors. Mythi. Thank you for telling us about fake milk and other health advice in the past. Please, regarding the meat and various food products we buy in grocery stores for ourselves and our pets, are there any meat sources or what we Earthlings would consider grotesque food additives within these products that is being kept hidden from the public? Degas. We do not analyze all the food industrialized by you, but use your common sense about everything you eat, if you can. Today, many people are eating directly from the trash, simply to stay alive momentarily. If you have discernment, you will see that anything you can eat non-industrialized will not hurt you. Not everything industrialized is bad, but try to analyze the components added to see if there are elements difficult to identify by simple searches. Usually are specific chemical names that possibly have a contraindication to consumption. Mythi, the various older fault lines in Southern California, including the San Andreas Fault Line, are they still a major concern in the estimated tectonic plate arrangements, or has the plate movement so far suggested otherwise? I understand the variables can change dramatically from day to day, so I only ask if you can give me the present information, and about the explosives placed in our west coastal area? Please and thank you. Gas. The tectonic plates are moving, the flaws will move without exception across the globe. The flaws in the planet's northern hemisphere will be hit hardest, and North America will begin to feel these movements very soon. I personally do not believe that conventional explosives are detonated, even though many of these devices are already flooded with salt water as a result of the action of specific probes. Your military know this because they have lost communication with several of them. Mythi, can you explain for us, what problems rise up for us when we use electric power net 50 or 60 Hz frequency? What frequency you use in your electric systems? Alphonsus, what you call alternating current is not directly harmful, though it causes a noise in many devices that can irritate some people without them actually realizing it. We only use what you call the direct current supplied by constant potential difference. Mythi, lately there have been rumors that they are excavating ruins of ancient civilizations in Antarctica. Does this have any real background? Lad, there are several ancient cities buried in the Antarctic continent, and many will be seen when the continent becomes subtropical. Your governments are running some joint ventures to exploit some of the ruins, but nothing that could mean acquiring technology, because nothing scientifically relevant can be found in those places. Many archaeological artifacts have been removed from Antarctica by German, US, UK, Russian and Australian expeditions since 1920 in the continent's ancient coastal cities that were buried by ice in the last tuning of the planet's axis. What is currently being explored is one of the pyramids built in an ancient city dating back to the Atlantis civilization. These artifacts will certainly go to repositories because they would greatly change the already written history. So since 1920 nothing has been revealed to the public about all the discoveries that have already been made. One day, the deposits of your elites and religious treasures will be open to public knowledge, then the story can be finally rewritten. Friends, many of you have felt an increase in your sensibilities, some visualizing contacts during sleep, others seeing strange places, others feeling the presence of proximity on some occasions. In this period of changing beat frequencies, adjusting the whole system for compatibility with level 1 that is settling in, many of you will begin to feel and perceive these changes. Do not be impressed with this because they are normal symptoms to those who are waking up earlier than others. Stay safe. Until our next conversation.